Hi, I'm Molly from Wild Olive, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how I use the cross-stitch technique of parking in my projects. And traditionally parking, which is a method of leaving several or sometimes a lot of working threads parked in place. It's a technique used when you're using lots of colors covering a whole large area. And my patterns don't usually work that way. I don't usually have things that have that many colors all in one space. And so it works a little different for me. Sometimes it's not even useful for the types of projects that I do. It's also a little different for me because I work in hand. I stitch in hand and I roll this fabric up a little bit and I hold it while I work instead of being in a frame. And most people will tell you that it's better, parking is better when you work in a frame or a hoop. And I agree that it is definitely a lot easier, but I've found a way to make it work when I need to. So on this is like a little, this is my new Halloween pattern called Not So Spooky Cross Stitch. And this is like a little, long, twisty lollipop kind of a candy treat. And you can see the colors, there's 3 colors running through it and it goes at a diagonal. And so when you leave gaps in things, it's a little bit, I find it a little harder to get stitches in neatly, especially stitching in hand. So I have to finish one stitch here. So I'm going to do that and then come back up where the next stitch will be in the next row. That's there. And I'm just going to leave it parked. And then I actually, because I'm working with just 3 colors here, I went ahead and I left needles on all of the threads. So now I have yellow to do here. And in this row, there's just 1 yellow stitch. So I'm going to take that, come back up there. This gives me a chance to make sure that I don't go through the stitch next to it too, like the threads that are there. So that's going to go here. In the next row, I'm looking at my pattern. My pattern is just right over there. I am looking at that, and the next row is going to have a stitch here. So I'm going to leave that off to the side. I'm going to pick up my white thread, and I'm going to stitch. I have 1 white stitch in here. I'm going to keep the orange off to the side. And in the next row, it's going to be over 1 to make that twisty spiral look. Set that to the side. Pick up my orange. In this row, it has 2 orange stitches. So I'm going to stitch both of those as though I were doing an entire row, which obviously if you have a large area to cover, you would be doing. And again, the next row, it's going to be 1 stitch over from where I was. Leave that parked, and then I can pick up the yellow for the next one. And I'll just continue this way, switching between the different colors. Make sure I get this right. Yep, there. It's going to be 2 in the yellow and back and forth. And I can just leave these hanging here over the edge and I can pick them up as needed. If you have more threads, sometimes, and if you're not using them with like every row, because I'm working, down in a section like this, you can tuck them off to the side. In fact, I had these off to the side when I needed to work on something else for a little while. And you can park them that way. If you've got lots of threads, sometimes people will bundle them together. But for me, when I only need to do a few, but I'm back and forth with this and I don't want to leave holes to try and stitch through, this method is a little bit faster for me, and I think you should give it a try. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found this helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer those. If you would like more Wild Olive content, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. You can also check out my coffee clutch, which is a great way to support the work that I do and get even more patterns. Thanks so much for watching.